potter he's the potter that's putting the clay together. So he can do that. So you can't say, well, come on, Lord, how come you didn't choose me? How come you chose these people and you didn't choose me? We're all equal. No, there's no equality there. Even when you look at the branches of how society works, there's no equality. Okay, you have the lower working class citizens, you have the middle class citizens, and you also have the rich, and then you also have the aristocracy, which is the government. So there's orders of society. So that whole equality ideology does not exist. And it never existed, it never will. Go on, bro.
And it said, some of them have you blessed and exalted.
Yeah.
So some of them are blessed, right? Some of them have you sanctified and set there himself.
Right.
But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places.
Exactly. So this is the point of the matter. You have a people that the Most High chose, and there's a people that he put to a curse. Now, obviously, the so-called white man, he's not living out that curse right now because they're in that position to fulfill prophecy. But ultimately, at the last end, when it's all said and done, they're going to see those curses. The same curses that we're under, they're going to receive those curses, and more so. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So you're done with that, right?
As the clay is in a potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil.
But brother, didn't I just say that? I didn't even know that was in there. I said that the Most High, he's the one that's the potter, and the potter has power what over the clay. So if you're an art dealer, I'm going to use myself for example. If I'm an art dealer, or I paint art, and I paint, let's just say three pieces of art, right? And the 3 pieces of art out of the 20 pieces of art that I've created, I like 3 of them only. 3 that I've done stands out to me. I can choose those 3 because I picked those 3. So it's the same thing with the Heavenly Father, the supreme power, the Creator. Being that he made all of us all together, he has the audacity to pick and choose who he likes. And no matter on this earth, in comparison to the Most High, what none but centipedes can speak up against them. Go on.
Good is set against evil, and life against death.
Yeah.
So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Yeah.
So look upon all the works of the Most High.
Look upon all the works of the Most High. And I've shown you that as well, that even wicked people are a part of the works of the Most High. Because you got certain people, they're just working on the left-hand side of the Most High. You got people that are into sorcery, all manner of witchcraft, all of that kind of stuff. That's the left-hand side of the law. Okay, go on.
And there are 2 and 2, one against another.
So there's opposing forces. That's what you have. So when you dive into this Bible, you understand life in totality. And that's why I can say confidently and boldly that I understand how life works. You got a lot of people saying, well, how could you say that? That's a broad statement. I can say that because plans of the workings of what life is all about is in there. Okay, now let's say I have a child or I have a family. I know how to guide the family in the right direction. Why? Because the protocols are there. The laws are there. Because the universities ain't going to teach this. The schools ain't going to teach this. And the reason why they won't teach this is because they want to keep you in a discombobulated situation so that you can depend on them. That's what the society is all about. It's all about spreading confusion so that people can be in a state of confusion. And in that way, when you're in a state of confusion, the powers that be can effectively more rule over you. And this is why in 2018, they pretty much transformed the minds of the people to think that it's okay to switch sex. When that idea and thought was considered nonsense back in the 60s or the 40s. Go on. All right. Yes, so brother, you can read your precept.
This is Amos chapter 1, verse 9. Right? Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Right, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So all of the ill things that was done on this planet it's not going to be returned. The Most High is not going to have mercy on those people that have established a society by blood. can't, man. You know, you want to talk about lynching a nation of people that the Lord shows. You want to talk about backlashing, okay, buck breaking, children being molested out here. All kinds of nonsense is going on in this empire. This cannot continue on. It can't, man. Okay, if you have a large amount of people that are in a state of disarray in their mind, society is going to be in disarray. It's just the way it works. So when our society is set up, matter of fact, give me Daniel 7, where it says that where it says we'll have an everlasting kingdom.
Yeah.
Because the reason why our society is going to be everlasting, which is the kingdom of heaven, it's not going to be in the sky somewhere. The reason why our society is going to be everlasting, why? Because we're going to have the protocols. We're going to apply these things, and these things are going to be within us. So now you have now you have more of what's the word I'm looking for? You have like a conducive system, a conducive society, which produces life. Go on.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom.
The saints, get that. Psalms 148. Let's find out who the saints are. So we got to back this up.
I'll read it again.
No, don't read it again. Let him read it.
Get that one.
Yeah, then you go back.
Psalms 148 verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Even to the children of Israel. Who are the children of Israel today? Let's explain this. The so-called blacks that went on cargo stations and the so-called Latino that was consumed by the Spaniards and the Native American Indians. That's the children of Israel, and that's something that the iron ranking family knows. They know this, and that's the best kept secret on the planet. All right, go on.
A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord.
Right, so now we understand who the saints are. Now we can read that.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever.
And there's going to be a reason why we're going to possess the kingdom forever. Go on.
Forever, even on forever.
Exactly. So let's read about the reason and why. Let's get on Hebrews the 8th chapter.
So I'll go back on that.
All right. And then after that, get Hebrews 8.
Yeah, right. Because you said, you had what? How did you say?
Daniel 7, 18.
So let's take the kingdom, so possess the kingdom. And he said, why are we going to possess the kingdom? Sirach 10 verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Beautiful.
That's why, because we're going to be profitable to this earth. Because right now Esau is not profiting this earth. That's what he's just doing. As Revelation says, he's destroying the earth. What we're going to do, we're going to revitalize the earth, man. The earth is going to be resurrected through us, the children of life, man, the Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
We'll bring righteousness to
And it's only going to be for a set time. There's going to be a time where the Most High is going to put us in position of power. Right now, what has to happen right now is prophecy has to be fulfilled. Like the RFID chip, the nuclear war, okay, the bashing of the heads of the nations. And I don't mean that literally, I mean that figuratively, because that's what they're going to use during World War III. They're going to use those missiles to bash each other upside the head and blow themselves to smithereens. So that's going to come in full effect. And this is why I say that it's not an if or maybe World War III is going to happen. It's definitive that it's going to happen. It's sure. It's sure that it's going to happen. And it's sure that we're going to enter into a chaotic time. An economic collapse in this time. That's sure to happen. It's not a matter of if or maybe. There's no maybe in this. So what we're going to do is this. What you got? All right. What you got?
Sirach 39 verse 33. All the works of the Lord are good,
Right.
and he will give every needful thing in due season.
Right, he will give every needful thing in due season. So if it's needful for this to happen, it's gonna happen. No matter what the situation is. And when the Lord brings that into fruition of whatever he has in plan, it's gonna be an effect, and man on earth cannot do anything about it. So in due time, it's gonna be needful for this society to enter into an end or decline. It's going to be needful in that day and time, and it's going to be needful to set up the just, use the just, the so-called Negro, so-called Latino, Native American Indian. They're going to be the just established. All right, but right now it's not the just time right now. All right, go on. Yeah, whoever finishes, man, then you know you read.
Matthew
Finished.
Matthew 24 verse 21. For then shall be a great tribulation, such as Matthew chapter 24 verse 21.
Yeah.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time, nor ever shall be. 22. But except those days be shortened, there shall be no flesh. There shall be no flesh to be saved.
Right, so we're going to come into a time where it's going to be so terrible that it's going to exceed the other terrible times that occurred back in the past. And that's why I've said earlier before, what's going to happen on this earth will be remembered. Just like how Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, we talk about that to this very day, and that happened, 4,000 plus years ago. So what's going to happen here is going to far surpass Sodom and Gomorrah, far surpass other situations that happen on the earth, major ones. Okay, why? Because going back to what we was going into earlier before, because the transgressions are heavy concerning the powers that be that run this place. Okay, go on.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
And for the elect's sake shall those days be short. Because guess what? In the first world, and I don't care if you disbelieve me or not, it doesn't make a difference. Because what we have to say is much more sound than what you think. It doesn't matter. Give me that in Romans 3 and 3. The prophets always had the final word, and the word of the prophet was always pretty much inked on concrete, inked on rock. So no matter if you believe what we're saying, it doesn't matter. Because what you're not going to do is alter the words of the Lord, which we're bringing out. Go on, which is etched in stone. That's what I wanted to say. Go on.
Romans 3 verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
Yeah.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
It's not going to do anything, man. You just wasting time to just try and prove and try and validate yourself in the process and try to force yourself to not believe. Or you trying to find somebody else to not believe that this is bollocks or nonsense. You consider this is bollocks and nonsense. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, go on. Right. But what if some did not believe? Shall the unbelief make the
The faith of the Most High without effect?
Right.
God forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true.
Okay.
But every man a liar.
And every man a liar. Because whatever we have to say, if it doesn't go according to this, then what we have to say holds no weight, holds no validity. Okay, what holds validity is what we're saying and what this Bible is saying. And this is why we're here in King's Cross doing what we're doing. While everybody else is doing living their simple lifestyle. Okay, because really, and the reason why they're doing what they're doing because they don't have the answers. They don't understand what's going on. And this is why some people will come up here and act like a damn fool, like they ain't got no damn sense. And the reason why they're doing that because we all understand here that there's no level of maturity in Great Britain. Okay, you got a large group of men in the society and women as well that have a childlike mentality. So instead of you being 30 years old and acting like a 30-year-old individual, you more acting like you're 16, like you came out of secondary school. And that's the mentality of the people today. Okay, they can't have a proper adult conversation. Go on, brother. That's it, yeah. All right, we should go.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me.
Go on.
And what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right.
Verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
Right. It says write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
Right.
So why is Habakkuk being told to write the vision? Because this vision, or what he's going to write, is very important. So when you look up the words of the Bible, now we can further understand who wrote the Bible. We understand that you had scribes that were listening to the prophets, and you also had prophets that were also scribes too.
You understand why the books in the Bible, how they were
Formulated.
He's telling you.
Yeah.
He's actually telling you that the prophets, what they did was, when they received these visions, they got paper, they got like, you know how scrolls or whatever. They got scrolls, and then they wrote down what they saw. They wrote down what they saw in those visions.
Yeah.
And like I said, prophecy says not for them that believe not, but for them that believe.
Exactly.
So when they're written, these things that are written is only for them that believe.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Whose minds and hearts this resonates with. If this doesn't resonate with you, it's because either you're not of the elect, or you're just not even an Israelite, you're a heathen or whatever. Right? This is only for the elect. Only the spirit of the elect is going to receive this.
And you know too, and the brother's absolutely correct, because and see, this is why I always say about the pastors all over the world. They've been promoting this idea that everybody can be saved if you come into the Lord Jesus Christ and all this nonsense. What they're saying, which is what I've stated, or their ideology of the Bible, it doesn't correlate with what the Bible is saying. Because what the Bible actually says is that you're going to have a select few of men that are going to receive this knowledge and understanding. And if you want to go more in depth, being that the prophets wrote this book, guess what? The prophets are going to come back to the same book they wrote in the reincarnation. Go on, bro.
Isaiah 42, verse 9.
Right.
Behold, the former things are come to pass.
Right, the former things have come to pass. Go on.
And new things do I
And
declare.
new things do I declare. That's the other prophecies that haven't come into fruition yet. So the former things we can read in the Old Testament. That's why you have the Old Testament and the New Testament. But even sometimes the Old Testament will talk about things that's going to happen in these times as well. So there's all the prophecies that already came before, and there's newer ones that's getting ready to come now. All right. That's why, and another thing too, and what further proves that the Bible is only for the prophets or the elect, the men of God, whom the Most High set up out in the midst. Because most people, they'll read the Bible and they don't even understand what they just read. Okay, you could even go to university. You could become you could be on the study of theology, and yet you still won't understand it. You know, and I can back what I'm saying, because I've even dealt with people, or we've dealt with people up here that was coming from university and went to these theologian schools, and guess what? We showed them more scriptures than their actual teacher have shown them. You know why? Because it's not of man's will. It's the will of the Father that gives you the Holy Spirit to understand. You have to have the Holy Spirit so that you can understand these precepts. All right? Go on.
So it says, and new things do I declare, before they spring forth,
Yep.
I tell you of them.
How do we know of these things? By reverting back to the scriptures. That's how we know of these things to come. What are the things that I'm talking about? The prophecies. Okay? It's like the Muslims. The Muslims, they have their belief systems, right? But when all hell breaks loose, or what's happening right now, it's not explaining the Quran. Okay? It's not explaining the Quran on why you have these Palestinians fighting those so-called Jews over there, over our land. But that was already foretold in the Bible. It was spoken about that was going to happen. Go on.
Ezekiel 12, verse 26. Again, the word of Yahawah came to me saying,
Right, again, the word of Yahawah came to me saying, go on.
Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come.
Right, for the vision is yet for many days to come. So just because you can see a vision, that don't mean that vision is going to happen in sooner time or so. No, it could happen 60 years from now, or it can even happen 1,000 years from now.
Exactly. 2,000.
Or 2,000 years from now. Go on, brother.
What's his name? Enoch And Enoch was fucking how many thousands of years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
And he was prophesying of the times that we're entering into now.
Yeah.
So he saw things from the beginning of the world. So he saw the end of the world right from the beginning of the world.
There you go.
You get what I'm saying? And Moses, he saw everything on Mount Sinai. He was up there for 40 days and 40 nights. In fact, let me prove that. Hold on. Yeah, this is 2nd Esdras 14. Huh? This is let me prove to you. 2nd Esdras 14 verse 1. And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak. An oak is like a tree. And behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Esdras, Esdras. And I said, here am I, Lord. And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses and talked to him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up to the mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season. All right, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. All right,
You can explain that, brother.
so Moses wasn't just up there receiving the fucking 630 laws, man. He wasn't just up there getting the laws. But that's what they show you in these Charlton Heston movies. He was up there, you know, the lightning just drawn into the stone. He wasn't just up there for that. The Most High was showing him the times we're in now, the chariots, the salvation of the elect, Esau, the devil coming to power, which was fucking way out of this world back then, because there was always dark-skinned people in power back then. The Hamites, or you know what I'm saying, or other nations, neighboring melanated nations. So he saw all these things in the light end. He saw the EU. He saw the planes, the war planes in the sky, the missiles. He saw the missiles, destruction. Okay, he saw the kingdom of heaven. But obviously, certain those things he hid from the masses of Israel at that time, man.
Reading the prophets, there were certain things that the prophets were revealed, and there were certain things that were not revealed to the prophets.
Right.
Because the esoteric information, right, was only given to the prophets.
Right.
Most High only dealt with the prophets.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Most High really, it's like now, you look at how people conduct themselves now. People do the everyday thing because they're just average people, man. You got people that are not so average, and you got people that are average. Okay, if everybody's not the average Joe, then you're gonna have that imbalance. Alright, but going back to the point of the matter is there's a select few of men that the Most High when he went to in person. And it's the same thing that's going on right now. The Most High poured the word onto us personally so that we can declare these words unto the world. If you don't.
So the secrets of the times, like, because what? He showed them what? The Assyrian Empire. He showed them the ancient Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian, the Greco-Roman Empire. Moses saw all those things when he was in Mount Sinai for those 40 days with that long season. He saw all those empires rising and falling from power. And he saw the captivity of Israel coming in and out. That's why he told Israel, I said, listen, this day you're gonna go and break the law. Because he saw it. He saw it. He saw it. He saw what they were gonna do. That's why he told him you're gonna go and do it.
That's it.
Because he saw Israel breaking the laws and going into captivity time and time after again. Okay.
And if I may add to what the brother is saying, and this is why I can also say that the Most High, he made us really, he set it up that we go off. So that these times can come, because it was already played out in the spiritual. What we're living through right now, the lives that we've lived before, and what we're living through right now, is already been played out to happen. That's why the prophets received those visions of those things were going to happen way before their time. Okay? Like Ezra, why you think Ezra said, what was being on that day. Because he was pretty much, he had a vision of what was going to happen in these times. And you're going to have mass casualties of death because of the societal chaos that you saw going.
That's the point. You go back to back in Ezekiel 12 and 20.